Lovely creatures in Minecraft's oceans. And today, we're not going to talk about any of them. Yes, we're here to discuss everyone's favourite monobrowed monstrosity, the Elder Guardian.
I find guardians in general very scary, and the Elder Guardian is particularly scary.
So I hope, viewers, you won't mind if I narrate today's episode like this. As an incredibly handsome man, I think it's fair for me to say that guardians look absolutely bizarre. A huge one-eyed fish monster covered in spikes and who should really book an eyebrow waxing. If we had to describe them in a few words, it would be something like
Elder, Guardian, Spellcaster.
Yes, we were hoping 2 out of the 3 words you used wouldn't just be its name.
It's clearly an aquatic something.
Ancient, laser-focused, and wisdom.
The animals of the deep can be so mysterious and so scary.
The Elder Guardian is, let's call it a wise guardian. that has been there for a very long time. But the guardians themselves, I regard them as any other animal in Minecraft, just like a fancy, hostile creature that lives underwater.
Guardians and Elder Guardians were introduced in 2014's Bountiful update. It was a simpler time, where Minecraft's oceans were much emptier. Picture a big boring bath with the occasional squid cameo.
Today, after the update Aquatic, there is of course a lot to find in the waters. You have coral reefs, fish and so forth. But back then, the oceans were essentially an underwater desert.
We added the ocean's monument, this really impressive, challenging structure. It made the oceans more exciting to explore.
Even though they are quite common in the oceans right now, they weren't easy to find back then. The simplest way was to track down a cartographer, then cough up enough emeralds for them to give you a map to one, or snub the cartographer and just go searching the ocean for one.
The ocean monument looks a little bit like an ancient pyramid with 2 wings, and the entrance is in the middle underwater, and inside you find a collection of rooms that are arranged as a 3-dimensional maze or labyrinth.
That the shape is sort of like an inverted pyramid is interesting because of the way that pyramids are connected to mystery.
Speaking of mysteries, when Samuel tells you what the inside of a Guardian looks like in a second, you'll wish that had remained a mystery.
If you are like in spectator mode and you look inside the Guardian, you can see that it's red and it kind of looks like the whole thing is just a big bloody eye or something.
Lovely. While we're on the subject, seriously, what's with the giant eye?
Colossal squid in real life is the animal in the planet that has the biggest eye. It has like an eye out of like a dinner plate size. And I think that's the same thing with the Elder Guardian. There's no brain. It's just eye.
I'm not ashamed to admit that one of my favorite monsters from Dungeons & Dragons is the Beholder. So that was one of its inspirations. It took me some while to actually get the texture right, and then I thought, yeah, I can just write that I did this.
You might think Guardians are best avoided, and you'd be, right. But then you'd miss out on the treasures the ocean monuments contain. Treasures like the sponge. Okay, I probably shouldn't have opened with the sponge. Still, the better loot in an ocean monument is the golden blocks, prismarine blocks,